Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to week 2 of
A Bit About Me!
starring your very favourite person in the whole wide world, me, Nick. So let's get to it. Alright, so if you are unfamiliar with this series, this is the series where you ask me a question in the comment section below for the chance to get featured in next week's episode, which will be next Sunday, which may be the 17th, I don't know. It's the 10th today, so if my math's correct, it'll be the 17th. I'm pretty certain that there's 7 days in a week. So anyway, get commenting down below, ask as many questions as you like, and I will choose 5 or 6 for next week. Yeah, alright. So, let's get to it. Very first question from somebody called Blank343. Would you rather jump off a cliff or burn to death? Now, let's be honest. I'm not stupid, right? I'm not stupid. So burning to death just isn't something that I want to do. No siree. And you the question kind of makes you think that you're going to die when you jump off a cliff. But imagine if there's a little bit of water at the bottom of that cliff, right? I don't have to die. I know that's what you were getting at, but you didn't. Yeah, I'm picking at this question, and you didn't insinuate that I was going to die after jumping off this cliff. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off that cliff into, maybe, I don't know, like 12,000 million litres of jelly, right? Because that would be pretty fun to swim in, yeah? And then, in fact, no, that could be dangerous. In fact, no, ignore that. I'm going to jump off a cliff, right? Hear me out. The world's highest cliff in the world. Don't know where it is, but I'm going to jump off it with a parachute. That's right. I just picked a hole in your question. Yes. I'd rather be alive. I know that's not what you meant, but I'm going to stick to it. Well done. Your question has been foiled. Your move, Richard. Anyway, let's move on. Next question from The Stick of Meat. And by the sound of this question, that appears to be, I would imagine that's what he calls his penis. And the question is, I just got a text, probably off somebody not important, and no. Nobody important. Anyway, the Stick of Meat asks, what is my favourite porn category? Now, let's be honest. All of it's pretty good. Pretty much all of it anyway. There's certain dark areas that I don't like to venture into. And I'm not going to go ahead and say what they are, because if you don't know about them, you don't need to know about them. I don't want to ruin your life, because I've ruined my life. And I don't want you to go down the same path that I once went down. But if I had a favourite category, I'd probably go in the bloopers. I would definitely go in the bloopers, because you can do what you went there for, you go there for one reason and one reason only. But in the bloopers, you can do it and have a bit of a laugh at the same time. It's funny to see a person getting slapped in the face with something. Yeah. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to go with the bloopers, because it's always nice to, once you're finished doing what you're doing, you don't have to turn it off. You can watch the rest of it and enjoy it for a whole different reason. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. That is my favourite category. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so the next question from Midnight Hobo 89. And they say, hey Nick, I'm 22 as well, and my birthday is December 29th, smiley face. So, 28 days after my birthday, it's, you're pretty close to me there. You're pretty close to me. You're 28 days less cooler than me. But, yeah, that's alright. But anyway, as for a question, how many traffic tickets have you had, and or do you have any funny stories from when you went through driver's training and took your road test? Well, first question, no. I have no traffic tickets. I've been pulled over by the police 4 times. Not for anything in particular. That I think the worst reason that I was ever pulled over by the police is that I had something on my dashboard, and when I went around the corner, it came out my window, and they thought I was littering. And that's probably the most serious offence that I've ever done, and I went back and picked it up anyway, because I'm a nice guy like that. I even said that I'd pick it up. He didn't tell me to. Don't listen to whatever that police officer says. I offered to pick it up, and I picked it up, alright? Right, anyway. So, do I have any funny stories from when I took my driving test, or my lessons, or anything like that? I suppose there's one. As you all know, if you drive, at some point you're gonna go ahead and learn how to do the emergency stop, the emergency brake, which is basically where you slam your foot on the brakes and come to a halt as quickly as you can. And basically, my driving instructor says, Nick, when I slap my hand on the dashboard, I want you to slam your foot on the brake and stop as quickly as you can. And I was like, what's this for? And he goes, well, basically, imagine a child running across the road, and when I slam my hand, that is when you see the child, and that's when you've got to brake so you don't hit them. And just as he was leaning his arm back, I slammed my feet on the brake, and he hits his head on the dashboard. So I'm slamming my foot on, and then all I hear is that. He hits his head on the dashboard. He looks at me really angry. And he goes, Nick, what did I just tell you? I told you not to do that until I slam my hand on the dashboard. And I was like, look, Gary, there's a child's life at stake here, and I'm not going to mess around playing your silly games. And I had to get a new driving instructor after that. Yeah. And that never happened. That never happened. Just to let you know, that never happened. But, yeah. Oh my god. And oh my god, I've just seen the next question that I've got to ask or answer. Project Spartan 1. Ribena or Vimto, and why? And let's be honest here. There's only one right answer to this. No matter who you are, there is only one right answer, which is Ribena. And I don't really need to tell you why. If you drink Vimto, you are just a lower class of person. Ribena is up there with all the Chardonnays and all the champagnes, all the very expensive luxuries. And Ribena is up there. Ribena is probably very close to the top. And Vimto, yeah, honestly, I would feel bad sending a bottle of Vimto to Africa to all the starving children. I would. That's like a kick in the teeth. That's it's just, oh my god, why would you even ask this question? Ribena is the beverage of choice every time. So let it be known, Ribena, and always Ribena, forever. Yes. Right, let's move on. Oscar Dahl asks, do you like dubstep? And, well, let me answer this question with another question. Leaky Tapsman asks, DP or £28? DP or £28? DP, £28. DP, £28. DP, £28. DP, £28. DP, £28. Whoa! DP, £28. Whoa! One guy. Whoa! DP, £28. Thank you for being there for me. Whoa! Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. I told him that I would answer that question in a very humorous way, and that I did. There will be an annotation right at the very end of this video that linking you to a video that I kind of took that, or that we took that DP or £28 thing from. It's just a guy making his own dubstep. It is absolutely awful, but it is absolutely hilarious at the same time. And that is that. That is everything that I have got to answer for this week. This week's episode of A Bit About Me. I hope you enjoyed it, and like I previously said, if you have a question for me, pop it in the comment section below, and you will have a chance of being featured in next week's episode, and I thank you very much, and I will see you all soon. Peace.